welcome to the Partnership Publishing podcast. Today we are joined with Sheila Wenborne. Welcome, Sheila.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's so exciting to have this conversation with you today. For those that don't know, Sheila is the one from the wonderfully imaginative world of the Pirates of Dinosaur Island, and she's a children's author, a storyteller, but whose work began not on the page, but on the stage.
Oh, wow.
Um, thank you. Um, so, with a vibrant theatre show that brought Pirates of, and Dinosaurs music and adventure to life for young audiences. So, where to begin? I felt that maybe if you give a little bit of a background on yourself, your journey, and maybe where the inspiration came from. I think that's the most intriguing part of your story.
Oh, wow. It was 2015 when we first went out on stage with Pirates. So my husband and I did touring shows, and we took them. We took Pirates in particular over to Dubai to start with. We went around the Middle East, and then we came back to England, and we toured two tours of Pirates in England. So that's where it actually started, and I was only in the show because my husband had written it for three people, and then when we actually performed it, it wasn't possible to change into the costumes and come out again in the time span. So he said, "We need another actor." And I went, "Oh my God." So I was in, and I was the cat and the dinosaur in the show. So,
Ah,
uh, so that's where we first came together as the Pirates of Dinosaur Island, which was brilliant. And I really enjoyed it. And then it was a few years later, quite a few years later, in fact, in lockdown. Um, and we'd been talking about the show and how much fun it had been and how it was great to interact with the children. And it Joe said it should be a book, and that's where it came from. So, but it was nice because I'd felt as if I'd known the characters, I'd worked with the characters, I was one of the characters. So it was easy to put that into a book. Yeah, it was, yeah, just
incredible. And it translates so well. I think that's key. Again, for those listening and watching, Pirates of Dinosaur Island is the most interactive, joyous story and book. The way that it has been brought to life in book form kind of gives you a small inkling as to what to expect with the theatre show. I mean, the colour, the characters. How did you find, like you say, you were the characters? How did you find that translation into book form, that process? Like, yeah, how was that? Did you enjoy that?
I really did enjoy that actually. I don't know if you've ever seen the film of Beatrix Potter,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
where she actually felt that she could see the characters and they spoke to her. Well, in some ways, it was the same for me because we brought those characters to life.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel I know each one individually. They're my friends, and it sounds really weird, but you sort of I know how the captain's going to react, and I look out for Cheesy Weezy. He's there somewhere, up to mischief, and the cat really on the bad time of most things because he tries his best, but there's always going to be something going on
Yeah.
behind him or in front of him or under his nose that he doesn't notice. So yeah, it was. I feel I know each one individually. I know their personalities, and it was easy to sit down and put it onto paper rather than perform it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it does. It's a great story to read aloud as well. I think that's naturally coming from the origin of the fact that it was a performance, it's for entertainment. And I think, again, if you're after a children's book that genuinely keeps children entertained and not just flicking, losing interest, it's so hard these days to kind of engage. But this is that book. It really does come because its origin is from the performance world. Entertainment is at its core. It's not something that's been written and entertainment's thought as an afterthought, like, oh, this actually needs to be a little bit more fun. It really is at its core that engaging, entertaining piece of work. So for children that have been reading it, as publishers, like, we jumped on this. We absolutely loved it straight away. But then with the research that we've been able to do and seeing and knowing how many children have been genuinely enjoying reading your book, it's honestly so exciting to know where this can go. What was it about the live theatre experience and like the performances, like the music, the movement, like, and the reactions that made you think, "Oh, this genuinely could be the," but obviously your husband saw that, and you obviously felt that too. But have you had that engagement since? Can you see others in the future?
Oh, absolutely. I think the loveliest thing about live performance is that you get an immediate reaction.
Mm.
And when you peer through the curtain and you see all of these children, all dressed up as pirates, all sitting in the rows in front of you, and when you come out, they engage straight away.
Yeah.
It's it's fabulous, and it's always a lovely thing. With the book in particular, we wanted to create a message that the children can learn, because they're learning through colour. They're learning about the characters. They become very, very engaged in things like that. Um, and not having children of my own, it's really hard to know whether we're hitting the nail on the head. And with that particular um, way forward,
Yeah.
was so wonderful to see how much they'd enjoyed it, and they left singing the songs, and um, they were just part of it, and it was lovely. And then when we created the book, um, a friend of mine has small children, so without saying anything, like, each one of them gave them to the children. I said, I really need the feedback on this one. And my friend had a little boy, and he's quite an intelligent little boy, but he straight away, she always says to him, go pick your book. And the first thing he does is he picks up the pirate book, because of the colors and the engaging. And another one sang the song that, the bubbles are everywhere. And it was lovely to know that they were actually picking up on the story. And they say, "Oh, you must be kind, and
Mm.
doesn't matter. Everybody's nice." And we also made a little video of it, a film for that, and showed that to the children as well. And it's just lovely, because children don't lie. They say exactly what they like and what they don't like. If they
They're
don't
very
like
honest.
it, they will tell you, and if they do like it, they engage with it really lovely. And it's a lovely tool to
Mm.
actually be able to engage with children,
Mm.
see their reaction,
Mm.
know how much they've taken in, because they are remembering everything about the show, the book, the video. It's all it's just it's very satisfying for the author, or for me personally, because that I don't think there's anything that gives so much joy as to see a child engaging and being happy and being part of it. And they do that. They do that so well. If they
Yeah, they do
they
really.
will tell you,
Yeah.
definitely.
And you in that way you and I feel this with a lot of children's authors as well, but we are able to help make a difference, even if it's in such a small way. That child, that book, that memory, that core memory, that moment in time with that theatre performance, of that engagement, because of that entertainment and that interaction, it will stay with them. And it's those memories that shape that child's future, genuinely. So to be able to help make a difference in that way, it's incredibly powerful. And I think part of that process for the book adaptation, we received your submission once it had been created. But how was that, Jenny, of like the illustrations coming alive? Like, so someone, I appreciate you'd brought them to life on in stage form. So the characters were actually incredibly kind of fully formed in that sense. But to get them to relate to book, like seeing your illustrations and seeing your characters on the page, like how was that? I mean, it's
Oh,
such a journey, but yeah.
it was fabulous. It was because I knew what I wanted the
Mm,
characters to be. I wanted to put the characters onto the page as we had performed them. So it was quite nice working with the illustrator because obviously I'd given her a rough idea of what we wanted, and she came back and you look at it and you say, no, that's not quite right. Can we make, the head smaller, or, the face smile a little more, or, that's not quite got the character I was looking for. I need to tweak it there and tweak it there. Um, and in the end, we just sort of merged together, and she sort of knew exactly what I was talking about. And when it was right, it was right, and it sort of burst out of the page, and we
yeah.
went,
You're like,
it's lovely. Let's clam, absolutely. And then we did the next one, the next one, and it was just lovely seeing it come to life, and it really did come to life on the page. It was the colours were important because the children really love colour, don't they? So the colours were important to make it great, and I wanted to put humour into it, and um, because children learn so, in my opinion, they learn so quickly if they like and engage with the character. um, so you can give them quite strong messages in a really fun way, which will stick with them forever. I mean, and that was really what was behind it. We wanted each character to have their own individual personality, so they each, you know, give something. Even though Captain Clam's a bit bumbly, his heart's in the right place. He knows what he's doing, and Pete is very keen to do things and actually does it right, and he sort of guides the captain in the right direction without actually saying that. And you've got Molly the cook. Now you
oh.
couldn't have anything better than Molly the cook, because Molly's me really. um, I love to cook, and I love to make everybody happy by putting a lovely bit of food on the table, and let's sit down and have a cup of tea and a cake. So that's a
We
really
love Molly here as well, let's just say.
my
She's
ultimate goal
fabulous.
is to have a Molly cookbook. I want one day to have a Molly cookbook so that all the characters can help her in the
I
cooking.
know, yeah.
So yeah, it's lovely, and of course the cat is always there. So it's just, I just love everyone, and it was nice once you start talking to the illustrator and she sees what you see,
Yeah.
it becomes easy. And of course, the second book was
Yeah.
just as much fun.
Oh, absolutely. I know. And this is the thing, like the opportunity that we see as part of this world that you've created and envisaged, the world building, the stories. How does that arrive for you? Like the ideas, the inspiration, because it is a world that you've built. And I think that also that is quite rare to have the continuity, but then the stories and the feeling, the depth that comes with them. And again, we're immersed in this bright, joyous, colourful world with all these magical characters. Um, how do you find, yeah, how does it come to you? I'm intrigued, and I know a lot of people listening will be as well.
um, I don't know really. They just sort of pop up. Um,
3 a.m. Oh no.
because when we did the first one, it was quite uh, exciting. I was nervous, and there was lots of things that I thought after it was created, oh, I could have improved on that. I could have put something else in it. I need, next time I'll do this, that, and the other. Um, and then, of course, then we bought the second book, which we'll talk about another day, I know. But book,
Exciting spoil.
was how can we bring these people these characters alive? How can we extend on this? What can we do to make it different? What would be colourful? What would be engaging? What would be the next message that we could give to the children? And of course, um, who doesn't love a mermaid? So mermaid became the next one, and then we that just makes your mind get even more excited, and you're thinking, well, what about the next one? What are we going to bring in the next character? What is the next thing that is most engaging for children? What do they need to learn about their world and what the world out there holds for them, or what they should be aware of? So there's hundreds of new characters some that were still in the show that aren't even there yet.
Wow. Oh, okay. Hmm.
That will come, and then there's the unicorn that helps
Mm.
them through their dreams, and then things like danger that children should be aware of but not frightened of, but
Mhm.
we want, so there's just so much out there. And
Mhm.
I feel sometimes they all come to talk to me in the middle of the night and say, don't forget us and don't forget that one. So they're all there waiting to come out, but you're waiting
Wait.
for the book and the next book. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it is magical. And hearing you speak in the way that you do about them, you can tell very clearly that they're incredibly real to you. And it's quite normal, in our world and in our industry. And it helps for them to feel real genuinely because of that reason. The relatability is there. And I think we find this a lot with Pirates of Dinosaur Island, particularly, and working with yourself and knowing that the children, it has that relatability factor. And you touch on there about the element of purpose as well, I feel that you have with these and like the messages, the inner core messages of and like how we can help children. And you obviously touch on there like danger, but not feeling too frightened of danger, but being aware of it. Are there some specific messages, particularly with, for example, book one, Pirates of Dinosaur Island? What would you like the takeaway of the book to be for children and potentially parents and also educators? Because again, just to point on that, obviously as your publishers, we are doing a huge campaign getting Pirates of Dinosaur into schools, garden centres, zoos. We're going everywhere, shopping centres, independent bookstores. So I am intrigued to speak with people that are open to workshops and also live theatre performances. And I know that you've got puppets too, and there's so much to talk about. But yeah, that take home for children and parents and educators, what do you feel that you would like that to be?
I think with the Pirates, the first Pirates book is really about kindness, acceptance. Doesn't matter whether you're big or small, tiny or tall, whatever it is. Um, you have to accept that people are different, but we can all work together. We can work as a team, and if we work as a team, we can get things done.
Mm.
And it can be fun. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be rammed at you. You enjoy every moment, um, and the fact that each each individual person is different. We are all different individuals, but we can join together and become strong, and we can move forward, and it can be, it's one of those times when you're learning and you can be accepting of people's differences. I took the puppets to a nursery, um, where we live, just up the road from where we live. We live in a little village, and I wanted to read the book, and I wanted to see how the children reacted to the book, and I took the puppets along with me, which I'd made. And one of the children picked up Captain Clam, and as you know, he has one leg. And he said, the little boy said to me, well, why has he only got one leg? And I said, oh, I said he hurt his leg, so I gave him one leg. And then um, the little boy said, he'll fall over. Um, he'll fall over. And, no, he won't. He's got a wooden leg. And I went, oh yeah, okay then. And the acceptance of he's different. He'll fall over. No, he won't. He's got a wooden leg. Oh, that's okay then.
Oh, that's
They
okay.
worked it out between themselves in their own little conversation, and it was lovely.
Isn't it? Yeah.
They do. They just accept things, and it's nice that if you put it in front of them, they'll work it out. They'll work out the problem, and then it's accepted and moved on. So it was
Acceptance,
lovely.
it's key. And like you say, that kindness element as well, yeah, it's incredibly powerful, so profound. I feel you absolutely nail it with Pirates of Dinosaur Island. And naturally where this world continues, there is lots more to share with our viewers and listeners. There's book two and who knows. And like I say, we are on tour. We're getting in schools, bookshops, nationally. It's available worldwide, international, and available now. So for anyone listening, I would encourage you, um, genuinely, even for the bright, joyous colourfulness that we bring to the page with Pirates of Dinosaur, let alone the kindness and the purpose ruled behind these stories. This book is entertaining, and children quite clearly are just loving it. So please do find, Google, contact Sheila, find Sheila online, search Pirates of Dinosaur Island. You will find everything to do with Pirates of Dinosaur Island online. Um, is there anywhere particular that you'd like people to connect with you online, a preferred form of finding you? I'm not sure. They
Just
can contact us direct. Please do. Obviously, find us first. We'll put you in touch. Um, but we're very excited to be able to represent you, represent Pirates of Dinosaur Island. And thank you so much for joining us with this conversation today. It's about time, and we can't wait for the next either. So stay tuned, everyone listening, and yeah, look out for what's to come.
yeah, it's so exciting.
It really is. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sheila. Take care.
you too. Thank you very much.
Bye.